Okay, so my Draw My Life video went really well. I was really happy with it. And so I decided to do a Draw My HRT video, a little more depth into my HRT experience. And so, of course, like most people in this situation, you start out talking to a therapist about it. And, you know, they have to see you for a certain amount of time usually. And there was just a time when I was like, okay, it's been a couple months, I'm ready for HRT, I'm ready for these changes. And my counselor was not. And I was sad. And so in the meantime, I wasn't full-time yet, but I was full-time outside of work, and my grandmother died, and so I flew down to California for her funeral, even though my ID was still a boy's name, boy's picture and all that. And so I did this trip anyway, and I think it impressed my therapist, kind of showed her that I was serious. And so when I came back from that, she actually said I could do the HRT finally. And so I was happy about that. Then the next step, of course, is finding a doctor. And there's, people say you need an endocrinologist, but you don't really. It just needs to be a doctor who has some experience or is willing to learn about levels and such, hormone levels. So I called a bunch of doctors. They either weren't in practice anymore or full practice until I finally found the right doctor. And then, of course, you make an appointment, and it's not going to be right away. So 2 weeks later, I saw him and showed him my letter. You have to have a letter. And he took blood, and we had to wait 2 more weeks. And so then I went and saw him again, and he gave me the prescription finally. So you'd think that that would be all set. I got my hormones, right? Then I went to the pharmacy, and they were like, well, we can't read his writing. We don't know what to give you. And so they called, leave a message on his answer machine, and I bugged him a bunch on email. And so then a couple more days had to go by before they had that figured out. And I finally received my prescription. So I immediately went home, of course, and got everything ready and took it was oral, it was the pills. Took it all on my YouTube channel and so that was on my first video here. And so within 2 weeks I was feeling different changes, definitely emotional changes right away. Someone could practically look at me and I'd be crying or something, and it was interesting to kind of have that thing going on. And then within 2 months, I noticed some boob changes, and to the point where I went to Victoria's Secret and tried on bras, and it was really sad at first because none of them fit me right. I was way too small. And then I found the miraculous bra that adds 2 cup sizes, and suddenly I was really happy because that bra really, it even got me cleavage at 2 months after HRT, with not even an A cup, so that was really cool. And I actually wore those bras for years on end until I got the A finally. But also other changes happened on HRT, so they say things that won't change like your bones or your height or your shoe size, but some of those actually changed for me. Not a lot. I had curviness definitely happened a little bit, hips grew a little bit, waist went in a little bit, and my boobs came out a little bit. But also my height went down slightly, and my shoe size went down slightly, so that was kind of cool. Oh, and yes, I was always hungry. Estrogen made me crazy hungry, and I had to kind of learn how to deal with that without eating everything in sight. But yeah, there were days where I can remember days where I was driving my car and I'd just be like, oh, it's sunny out, and I'm just like, oh, I'm so happy that I'm a woman. It's just so good to be a woman. And that I kind of attribute that to my transition and kind of estrogen in general. It's just, you just feel right with yourself. But then surgery happened, and they say no estrogen. Well, actually, I could have a little bit of estrogen, but no testosterone blocker for 2 weeks before the surgery, and so that did not make me feel good. It made me feel wrong. It made me feel all extra sexual. So I was really happy when the surgery happened, and a couple days after I could get back on estrogen, and of course testosterone wasn't naturally in my body anymore by then, so that was good. But soon after, it might have been before surgery actually, that I started doing injectables because I heard that they could give you more results than oral pills for the estrogen. I had my mom do it, poke me in the butt. Did that every week, and just got to the point. I still see my mom every week, but it's just I just like being able to do something myself be independent, and so I said, okay, I've done injectables for a year and a half, I can stop that and try something else. And so I tried a cream, I rubbed it on my legs like every morning or whatever, and that didn't work out so well. I did not feel good. I felt over emotional. I had hot flashes at night. It was not a good summer, let's just say. My E levels dropped, and so we went back to oral. My E levels went back up, and I was happy again. And that's kind of where I'm at now. So that was kind of my HRT experience. A lot of letters, a lot of waiting. Changes that happened over many years. It's been almost 4 or 5 years for me, but different kinds of stuff going on. But yeah, it's all been a really good experience, and I'll of course have to take it for the rest of my life.